watching Universal Groove, and I'm your DJ, Santana. Growing up in Santa Fe Springs back in 1970 is where we moved to Santa Fe Springs, but my family's been here before I was even born. And back in the 70s, it was a hot place, you know. Grew up right here in the barrio Cantarranas, and used to hang out at the park, and there was a lot of, back in the 70s, there were a lot of killings going on, a lot of gang warfare. But during that time, my parents kind of kept me away from the park all the time, because every weekend somebody was dead or there was kinds of gang banging going on. So in the 70s, it was pretty, it was often popping, man. It was often popping in the city. My parents kind of kept me away from all that, but I was still kind of, lingering into it still, but they kept me away from that, and a lot of that was because my father used to play a lot of music and all that. There's a lot of history right here in Santa Fe Springs. For my dad, and my mom, they were both from Watts, and they both lived across the tracks from each other. And I don't know how they really met. I know, hear stories, when you have parties and family telling stories, they invite this homegirl over, that homeboy over, and they'll be telling stories. So you're a little kid and you're hearing little stories. But my dad's from Watts, my mom's from Watts. My dad was 6'4", and he was light skinned, His eyes will change, I guess you call them hazel eyes or whatever. Totally different from what I look like, And he was a big man, strong man. Again, he knew a lot of people, man. A lot of people behind the walls and people from. He's been around, but his passion was music. As me opening up my eyes and walking around the house, in the household at 2 years old, I can remember at 2, there was these round black discs all over the floor, and growing up, as time grows up, as I'm growing up, I'm 5, 6 years old, and I used to see him get the 45, and he had a talent, and he'll he's waxing a car like a bomb, he's waxing each side, and he slips them in the sleeves. Next record, cleans them up. Next record, because every Saturday night, he didn't need nobody to party with, man. All he did is went in his garage, and back in those days, they used to have these big giant hi-fi stereos, and he'll open it up, throw 10 records, click it, and he'll sit back and drink his Budweiser right there. He didn't need nobody to party with, and people would just drive by, stop in the alley, because we lived on the alley, stop by, and before you know it, I look through the window, there's a party going on, just automatically, bro. What I feel that I got from my dad, my father's side, is I inherit the music, and I, I'll be honest with you, I wish that he was alive today to see where I'm at today. Where a man run a studio playing the music that he loved, took his music to another level, instead of just being in the back of in the garage by itself, we took it to the world, and I'm grateful for that. And I was telling, at Flood's funeral, if God allowed him to look down just a little glimpse to see what's going on, and if God allows my dad to just see what's going on, because reality, I did it for him, it's because my dad was my passion. I did it for him, and I had it was burned inside my soul, my spirit, my heart, that people need to hear this music. It's been locked away for years, and they needed to hear this music. And so for that, I really inherited my dad on that part. My mom, she was a little different, man. She was more like growing up that I heard stories, she was more like a tomboy. She was about 5 foot, real good looking lady, China eyes, and real humble. Out of all the aunts, she's really humble, because my mom comes from a mean side. That family bloodline of my mom's side, they're mean, and my aunts, they're mean. They're bold. They'll tell you straight out. They'll tell you where to go. I mean, and these are short ladies. You know what I mean? And my mom was just a little different. I think out of all of them, she was more kind, compassionate. She's always having everybody come to the house. Cousins that didn't want to live with their parents no more stood on our pad. Doors were always open, so that was like the safe zone, for the whole family. So she was a little different, man. I mean, she was not into the music and all that. She let my dad do whatever he wanted to do. Playing this music. She's in the house watching TV, and but she loved to dance, bro. She loved to dance. She liked to swing away, tira la chancla, you know what I mean, and all that. And they were, man, they were into the rock and roll. They were into the rock and roll.
Mustang Sally. Guess you better slow your Mustang down.
My father was an alcoholic and a drug addict, and like I said, he liked to party all the time. The garage was open, people would drive by, and there was a party. He didn't invite nobody. This is his pad. He just cracked his beers open, and people would drive by. They know the garage is open. They say, "Hey, man, Neto got his rolas on the stop." Before you know it, man, there's like 30 dudes heads deep, guys and girls. And but he was an alcoholic, a drug addict, and through the whole family, our household, it could have been. Its part was in chaos, you know what I mean? Because his alcoholism. Because we didn't know what kind of man he was coming home. Every time he came in from work, we all used to run and hide in the room and look out the window and see what mood he was in. If he was in a bad mood, we stood in the room. If he was in a good mood, then man, hey, everybody's yoo-hoo, you know what I mean? But no, he was a violent man too, a violent man, and we were very scared of him because 6'4" man, big muscles, Yeah, man, alcoholism really was a big issue in our family, big issue. My father found God, I think it was 1980. I was about 12 years old, and things were changing for the better and all that. But again, things are changing for the better for him and for my mother, but things were changing in my life too. So I started taking advantage of his kindness, his weakness, of his kindness. Then that's how I ended up getting into the vaudeville, you know what I mean? Started going towards the neighborhood, going to junior high at Lake Center Junior High right here in Santa Fe Springs. Had a partner named Eddie Reese, and that's when Zoot Suit would make the whole play during that time. So every Friday, me and him would go to school in a junior high, bro. This junior high, and Stacy Adams, our pleated pants, our vest tied, and I wear the thongo, and we're looking smooth through here. I mean, and only on school days for dances, Fridays on dances, bro. So we're looking sharp, you know what I mean? Trying to scope out the jainitas and stuff like that. But that's how I grew up with, Stacy Adams. As I'm growing up, started blending in towards the vaudeville, slowly, gradually in. Things started changing when I got jumped from another neighborhood for the vaudeville that I live in now, and that changed my life. I got jumped not from the homies, from another neighborhood, and now it changed my life. From then, it just corrupted a calm kid to a monster, to like I was mad, bro. I was mad, and I carried that anger with me through the years, through teenagerhood, and then just the crazy life after that. Not even my parents could have stopped me, or my older brothers and all that, because I didn't care no more. I didn't care. I was done with all that. I just wanted to live my life and live it fast,